What if the biggest and worst market meltdown of the year wasn't an accident, but something that was planned and timed perfectly? Today is September 22nd. While most of the market was waking up to a sea of red, a scene of pure financial carnage, something much more important was happening behind the scenes. We just saw the biggest liquidation event of 2025, a severe flush-out that took billions off the table and left a lot of investors in shock. But what if this wasn't just random chaos? What if the screenplay for this financial drama was written weeks in advance and there were warning signs for anybody who understood where to look? The truth is that governments are discreetly working together on the future of crypto, while the people who make the market are playing a whole different game. And speaking of knowing where to look, what if you could have the tools to see these big changes coming before they happen? Before we go farther into the darkness of what just happened, I need to tell you about something I've been working on for the last 10 years. The Ultimate Millionaire's Investment Guide is its name. This isn't just a bunch of Excel files or a PDF. This is the result of more than 10 years of hard research, real-world financial experience, and techniques that have been tested in battle. It's a step-by-step system that will help you learn how to read market patterns, figure out how whales think, and find the next big chances before they become popular. The link is in the description below, so please wait. Let's look at the damage in detail. The stats alone are shocking and show how bad things are. When you look closely at the 24-hour liquidation data, the story becomes very evident. Ethereum positions lost a huge $510 million. Bitcoin also lost a lot of money in a flash, with $290 million going down the drain. And XRP lost a lot of money, with $79 million going out of the system. A jaw-dropping $1.71 billion was taken off the market by force. This wasn't a little change. This was a cleaning. This is the biggest and most aggressive liquidation event we've witnessed in 2025. A move meant to scare people the most, penalize those who are too heavily leveraged, and get rid of the weak. But people who have a strategy often utilize fear as a tool. This huge decline didn't happen out of nowhere. For weeks, things were getting ready for a classic buy the rumor, sell the news occurrence. The Federal Reserve's decision about interest rates on Wednesday, September 17th, was at the center of everything. It was easy to see the trend. A lot of hope. A rally that pushed prices up in the days before the announcement, and then a rapid, aggressive retreat after the news came out. And isn't it exactly what just happened in front of our eyes? The market went up, people's spirits rose, and suddenly, just as the trap was set, the floor fell out. This shows that not everyone is blindly going through these dangerous waters. Some people are reading the map, while others are just lost in the ocean. To be clear, the size of this flush-out was startling. To be honest, I didn't think the drop would be this deep or this bad. But people were expecting the move itself. I called to completely close my long XRP position on Friday, September 18th, at exactly 4:06 p.m. Pacific time. This was right before the liquidation cascade started. We were on a road vacation with my family, and I recall very well driving into a Walgreens parking lot so my wife could get diapers. I was looking at the charts while she was inside, and the warning lights started flashing like they were in an emergency. I knew what was going to happen next because Bitcoin had just been turned down at an important level. I quickly sent a message to my private Discord group. I just closed my long XRP position. Looks like the flush out. According to the speculation, the news about selling might have been pushed back by a day or so. Bitcoin looks like it's at the peak or extremely near to it, and if it does, it will bring us down. For now, I'm taking my profits off the table. If this happens, setting stop losses here could save your baggage. For a month, I had been openly warning against this very situation. It's not about being right all the time. It's about knowing the patterns and keeping your money safe when a storm is coming. There is a huge difference between the clickbait sellers who make empty promises and the people who give you actual useful insight that gets you ready for times like this. So, Why did this happen so exactly? Let's look at a more obscure, yet surprisingly accurate level of analysis. Check out the calendar. There was a full moon and a lunar eclipse on September 7th. What happened next? Bullish energy flooded the market, which helped the rally that was based on rumors. Now, look at what just transpired. A new moon and a partial solar eclipse happened yesterday. What happened next? Bearish energy, a loss, and the biggest sale of the year. You don't have to believe in astrology or worship the moon to make money from it. These market maker magicians, as I call them, seem to work on a different schedule. For some reason, these heavenly indicators have always lined up with big changes in the market. Make your own charts with the moon phases on them. Don't say it's crazy. Just look at the profit and loss statement that comes from paying attention to these strange connections. Now, here is the most important piece of information. Even though there was a lot of violence and terror, the underlying bullish market structure didn't break. So many folks miss this in the panic. As long as the price stays above the 21-day moving average on the daily chart, the bullish trend stays in place. And you know what? We are still trading a lot higher than that important level. The violent wick actually hit that moving average exactly before bouncing back up to the 267 to 268 level. The breakout trend line is still below us. The break is still true. The structure is solid. This wasn't a change in the trend. It was a violent shakeout meant to fill the rocket's tank. And my orders were filled during that dip. My last long position had an average entry of 292, and I sold it for a profit at 308. The average entry for my new long position is now 287. I didn't lose everything. I reloaded for a lower price. While the market was going crazy, a much bigger story was being written in the halls of power. Ripple's CEO and managing director for the UK and Europe, Cassie Krodek, said something very important. She was at a roundtable meeting at Downing Street. Who was sitting at that table? Rachel Reeves, the UK Chancellor, and Scott Assent, the US Secretary of the Treasury, are two prominent people. This meeting wasn't at a low level. The financial heads of two great nations met with Ripple representatives. This is something we've been thinking about for a long time. Ripple is the best partner for the US Treasury to help start a new financial system. They can use an open-source, permissionless ledger and also construct permissioned spaces, such private liquidity pools, where only institutions that have been KYC approved can take part. Imagine that the 11,000 banks who are members of SWIFT have a safe way to get to digital assets. Consider how stablecoins like ROUSD on the XRP ledger could help the US Treasury make the dollar even more powerful. They are putting the truth right in front of you where you can't see it. This high-level cooperation between governments fits well with Ripple's most recent news. The time for institutional DeFi has come. A new blog post talks about the next step in the XRP ledger's roadmap, which is for global institutions. We're talking about putting a native loan mechanism right into the ledger. We're talking about zero-knowledge proofs, which let people keep their privacy while still being held accountable. This is an important aspect for organizations that need to keep things secret. They're adding tools like Deep Freeze to stop illegal transfers, Simulate to test transactions without risk, and permissioned domains for controlled users. And the best part? This is all happening at the protocol level. Thus, there are no smart contract weaknesses, no frequent hacks, and no billions lost on chains like Ethereum. Most of the time, they are caused by bugs in the coding of smart contracts. The XRP ledger is making the future of banking faster, cheaper, and much safer by adding these complicated financial technologies right into the core protocol. There are a lot of new chances in the environment. The new coin MXRP just went live. It promises that you can earn 6 to 10% on XRP that you don't use. Axelar, a company that works closely with Ripple, is supporting this project. It's important to look into every chance, but this shows that the ecosystem is growing up. These new procedures for making money are exactly why it's crucial to have partnerships, like the one we have with iTrust Capital. You can buy and sell Bitcoin on their site 24/7. They offer institutional-grade custody inside a tax-advantaged crypto IRA or a premium custody account. You can also get a $100 financing bonus just for using the promo code in the description. I'll ask them directly if they plan to add these new XRP yield prospects, which might make a big difference for people who keep XRP for a long time. The financial world is being rebuilt from the ground up, and you can be a part of it. The market's noise is only the sound of construction. You don't have to stop learning about these powerful market forces and gaining financial independence after this video ends. The recent 24 hours of upheaval were a test, and people with the correct expertise saw it as a chance, not a threat. This is exactly why the Ultimate Millionaire's Investment Guide was made. It's the framework that can help you change your financial future by teaching you how to find the signals in the noise. Don't let another chance go by. Click the link in the description to get your financial education. So, even though this was the biggest liquidation event of the year, the foundation is stronger than ever. The bullish structure stayed strong, and the way forward is more clearer. I still think we can reach our goal of 4 to 7 XRP by October 17th. It's likely that the bottom is in, and the next move up is coming soon. When you see a lot of panic in the market again, ask yourself, is this chaos or a well-planned design? TurboScribe.ai transcribed this. To get rid of this message, go to Unlimited.